bought properties, Gene, without seeing them, based on a telephone call from a realtor that I trust, that I know. So when they told me what the house was worth, I could trust them. What they told me the condition of the property was, I could trust them. And I was able to write an offer, of course, subject to inspection, but I'm able to write an offer on our property without even seeing it.
And you did okay.
But no problem. But I trust the people I'm dealing with. And I have done the research. I know whether or not the pie in the sky is there or not.
Your Maui story illustrates the point that property values don't always go up, do they?
No, they don't. They go up and they go down. It is a cycle. We've seen the cycle go up and down for a million years. The problem is nobody ever remembers the bad times. They only remember the good times. It's going to go up, up, up. And like the stock market or like the real estate market, it does have cycles. And as you remarked earlier, is the profit should be the day you bought it. Either by you getting the property below market and the profits built in there, or by having even a good deal could just be fair market value, but in an excellent demand neighborhood and an excellent perfectly conditioned house that's ready to go today without spending any money on it.
One of the most successful investors I know bought property in one of the beach communities in California 35 years ago, and he said he could have quibbled between paying $35,000 for a piece of property and $37,000, and could have walked away because he couldn't get it for $35,000. He said those properties are now worth $700,000.
Mm-hmm.
What's the $2,000 difference if you're planning for a long-term investment?
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
Yes. You have to make that decision from time to time based on your income and your position in investing. We discussed that if I had a choice of buying a rental property, I'd buy the smallest 1,300 square foot house in the best neighborhood I could. But if that house was $185,000 and I'm putting 30% down, it's going to have a payment that's this amount and an income of this amount, and it's going to be borderline on that positive cash flow part. Now, if I took an older house in the same neighborhood, and let's say that older house didn't sell for $180, only sold for $145, as long as I'm in the good neighborhood. Well, my $30,000 down is going to go a whole lot farther. My payments are going to be much cheaper. Maybe a $140,000 house, 30 grand down, I'm probably going to have a mortgage payment somewhere in $800 a month rent area. So by the time I tack on maintenance and management fees, then my overhead is only $950 a month, and now I only need $1,000 and $1,050 a month to make this thing pencil out. Now, at the very end, the property I would prefer to have will outproduce. But what your analogy is perfect. So mine went up $40,000, yours went up $35,000. So what's the big deal? The important thing is that I'm in the right neighborhood. So would I rather have a 10-year-old house in a great neighborhood or a brand new house way out in the middle of nowhere? I will take the neighborhood every single time.
Steve, this has been terrific. What's the best piece of advice you could give the investor?
Gene, don't get in your own way.
What do you mean, don't get in your own way?
Keep sight of what we discussed. The underlying theme of most of what we've been talking about is that this is business. Don't be so arrogant in your thoughts, so proud of your property, so proud of yourself, that you're not willing to do what you have to do to make this situation go well. Keep your mouth shut when you have to. Don't make it any worse than you have to. Don't make wars that you don't need to have. It is probably the hardest part for most owners to understand that having these wars and having these battles while somebody is living in your house, you are going to lose. And you're going to lose with your checkbook. Everything I think and everything I do on a daily basis in my office has a calculator in front of me. And I run that calculator. From the day we start looking at the property to the day we sell that property, I run that calculator.
In other words, what's this going to cost?
What's this going to cost in the long run? If I raise the rent $50 a month and my tenant moves out and my rent is $1,000, do I realize it will take me 20 months to recover that $1,000?
Good example.
And is this really something I want to do today?
Or if you have to go to court over
Or after the
$65.
court, or court. Or should really the conversation be then calling the tenant back and say, how about we split the difference and make it 25? Or go for another year. Extend the lease for another year. Okay, I'll back off on the 50, Gene, if you sign my lease for one more year at the rate we're already paying. If he just stays there for the 1 year, you will save thousands of dollars. Just keeping him there.
So you would say that would you say that the calculator is perhaps the most important part of your business?
It's my very best friend. It's my #1 financial advisor. It's my calculator.
Steve, you've been so helpful with your knowledge and expertise. Thank you. And for you viewers, I'd like you to know that Steve Nicklin is available for private consultation. His contact information is listed on the label of this learning program. I'm Gene Grassman.